Welcome to the Leeds View podcast, our match view show, the first of the brand new season. We are steaming towards the start of the new 26-27 Premier League season. The podcast is part of the Talk Sport Fan Network. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by liking and subscribing on YouTube or giving us a follow and channel rating on any of the audio platforms. It is a great pleasure to have the boys back in the house for the start of the new season, joined by Paul Brooker from the Leeds Therapy and Gerry McNamee, who appears on Talking Leeds as well. So you can check out all the boys when you want it. Their details will be down below in the description. But we've got a lot to get through. We're going to focus on Leeds tonight. We'll check in with the lads because it's been a summer. Paul, how are we?
Yeah, but better now. I've missed football. I've missed the kind of structure that it gave my weeks in terms of planning stuff for videos and bits and pieces and maybe going to games and all of that kind of stuff. So I've really missed that. So that coming back now is really good. I've kept my fitness up, which is really good. People that have seen me on my channel, it has been noted a couple of times about me being chiseled, which is quite nice. I love you all for being so kind to me about that. That's great. I've grown my hair back because I wanted to kind of be the odd one out. So now it's two bald guys and a youthful looking guy with the goatee now. So yeah, but other than that, I'm genuinely fantastic.
On, yeah.
I'm fantastic. I'm really pleased to be back, and it's really good to be back in your guys' company as well, and just to shoot the breeze with you all again. It's going to be a good season, I think. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this year. I've got a good feeling in my tummy about how we're going to do this year. Gerry, how's your summer been? And also, by the way, you have to find your way around Ellen Road all over again at the start of the season.
I know. I don't know what I'm going into. I've got a hard hat just in case when I go next week, or just where do I go? What do I do? No, it's been thanks for all your updates during the summer, Gerry. When we sign somebody else, I usually send you the text. Okay, I'm bored with him. I wanted more new toys, and I want
new shiny toys.
Forget this guy from Switzerland. I want more toys. It's flown by. I mean, World Cup. After that was over, I reintroduced myself to my other half. She seems nice. We spoke. Yeah, apparently she's moved jobs since last. She has me digging the garden, but football just went straight from World Cup to European. Yeah. So we had sweltering weather. We had the eclipse. I convinced someone to bring out the stones, especially on Stonehenge for the eclipse and for the shortest and longest days, and they believed me. Tried to get into some box sets, couldn't really. I found one called Confined Spaces, couldn't really get into it. I tried to organize.
Oh God!
Tried to organize a hide and seek, but good players are hard to find. We've had new signings.
Yeah, I didn't. What's that? 3 minutes.
Was that okay? Yeah, did you like that? You can have
very good.
Yeah, we've had new signing: Trafford, Wilson, Mahimovic. I still call him Terry for now, but great hairdo. Only one hairdo like that in the club, so Pero probably has to go. Pre-season youngsters, new players, USA, 2-hour games, over centre backs that do overhead kicks. Croke Park, biggest ever football event in Ireland's history ever. Not one Irish player on the pitch, which was a bit mad. But they all came to see Leeds, and we're right back round. We've got the Tricky Trees ×2 next week. We're playing Forest, and the evenings are getting darker. Always surprises me every year, but the season's ready. And watching the Championship and other non-league games, I'm ready for it now. Yeah, we're ready to go, and let's see what's going to happen next 2 weeks. Transfers, and get off to a good start, and make sure. We'll look and see what Ellen Road looks like these days. Yeah. Be interested.
Yeah, new dugouts.
Yeah,
some form of a new walkway in the back of the West Stand by the looks of things. Yeah. Brand new Bremner suite for Gerry to hang out in his tent. Paul is
I've just come from a barbecue, by the way. I've broken off from a barbecue next door. So
we're very lucky to have. Thanks for doing that. By the way,
as well. I really appreciate you giving up your important time and blessing us.
I've had to explain. When you try to explain to people on football, I'm going to do a podcast about football. Oh, what's that? Anyway, so I'm here. So it's okay. Yeah, sorry.
No, there's loads happening at Ellen Road. There's a new dugouts will be in there. We've got a brand new looking Bremner tent at the back of the Cop. There's a bit of work there. I got confused at the end of last season. I thought they'd taken the roof off the Cop as well. Someone had to point out to me that it's always looked like that. It just all looked very different come the end of the season. But yeah, work is cracking on that. Work is cracking on inside the ground as well on the new signings. We've had a brand new goalkeeper. We've lost 2 in the process since we spoke the last time. One of them's gone off to that lot across the road. So less said about that, the better. We finally get Harry Wilson, and we've signed a centre back whose name I still can't pronounce and won't even attempt to anymore. Jerry's going to call him Terry. I think we stick with Terry for the rest of the season, and we might finally, we might finally be getting Nicola Deddy as well. And there's still work to do. And we're going to get into all of that tonight. So let's set off with the season preview. Let's get the lads' thoughts on the preseason, because it's been an unusually productive preseason for Leeds United. And as we always say, you can't read a huge amount into a preseason because managers, players, they're all trying things out. You're waiting on relationships to kick in. I've seen a couple of people be underwhelmed by Harry Wilson. And my initial feeling is, when are we going to learn? When are we going to learn? Give it 5 weeks and he'll be fine. So all trying to get bedded in. We lose to Wrexham because Daniel Farke decided to give 4-3-3 a crack again in the second half of that game. And thankfully enough, he binned that one straight away and went straight back to his 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1. We beat Sunderland. We beat Liverpool. We beat Leipzig. We drew at Manchester United because penalties don't count in friendlies. And we beat Augsburg as well. And Brendan Aronson's got a stack of goals along with Lucas Mecha and DCL. So right now, as it stands, there's a couple of little niggly injuries with Gudmundsson and Willie Nonto. But outside of that, everything seems to be going really, really well, Paul. What could possibly go wrong in the next 2 weeks?
Loads of players could get sold. Then we might not get any more players in. That could be the thing that could possibly go wrong. My thing with preseason, and I've said it a lot when I've done the reviews of the preseason games that I've watched, is I'm not too fussed about the result during a preseason game. What I want to see is I want to see steady progression throughout all of the games. So things like fitness getting better, understanding between players getting better, little patterns that they're trying to do getting better, which is what I've seen progressively throughout preseason. So preseason's been very, very good. I've enjoyed preseason. I've really liked what I've seen. I've liked that. Yeah, he tried the 4-3-3, binned it off. But what's been quite clear is that there is this now thing that he's trying to do where he's getting the left wing and right wing to invert slightly. So you've got the fullbacks that can overlap, or Joe Salah, as we like to call him now, to come bombing up the right-hand side. And it's very clear that that's something that he's working on, as well as looking at ways to play through the lines a little bit more, rather than being reliant on a long ball and feeding off the scraps. I have to say, Calvert-Lewin looks sharp at the moment. So I watched when I went to the Leipzig game, and fair play to the stewards as well at the Leipzig game. They were fantastic because it was burning hot and people were standing up and coming into the shade, and the stewards were just letting them stand in the shade, and they were really, really nice. They get a bad rep sometimes in the COP, the stewards, but they were really, 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 really good. But I was really, really keen to see Muramovic play. That's how I'm pronouncing it. That's what I'm going to stick at. To see how he plays.
None of us are right with it.
I'm not bothered. I'm really not bothered. But I am and I'm not. Hi to all the new Bosnian fans, by the way. You're all lovely.
Hello.
Great. It's great to see you. Watching him play in the flesh is unbelievable. Yeah. He's an absolute specimen of a footballer. He's very, very, very good. And you can see why he costs the amount of money that he does. And just is twisting and turning and balls being played. So all of that kind of stuff is really, really good to see. So I've genuinely really enjoyed preseason. I've tried to pay attention to what's been going on and what they're trying to do and what they're looking at doing. And it's nice to see that there are new things that are being worked on. And my opinion would be that we're very much not going to be a team that's just there to try and make up the numbers and survive next season. We're a team now that is wanting to progress from where we are. From what I've seen, that we're wanting to progress from where we are. And that's pleasing for me to see. And Farke wanted to be backed. He's being backed. You know, Trafford was somebody that he wanted. He's wanted Elvedi since 2024. He's come in. Wanted Tarek. I'll call him Tarek then, just to make it easy. We've spent the money on him as well. You know, Wilson. He's been after Wilson for a long enough period of time. He's now coming. He's being backed. The back end of the window, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I'm in a positive mindset for the time being. Very positive.
Yeah, I think that I said at the start of the window, and I maintain it still now, looking at what's been done. The recruitment team have got credit in the bank. The exits are probably the only area we're all still scratching our head. But again, I think I said it the other day on the Transfer Talk stream, is that look, ultimately, it's not our money and it's not our worry, really. It's the finances team. As long as they can make it all add up at the end of the day, and as long as they can give Farke the players he needs, I'm sure it'll all work out fine. We used your maths today on the news, Paul, to talk about Peru's money coming in. So it does give us a little bit of wiggle room there as well. And Steve Carlisle, our SCR man, has been on to me as well to say that, yep, we're doing okay. And Joffy's money is a huge help. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Gerry, what's your thoughts been on the summer and the window so far, preseason and the transfers?
My own position, I'm alone with an option at the moment. So yeah, we'll discuss that later. Because everybody does. That's the things everybody's doing. Yeah, preseason was very much, we're going to get relegated. We're going to win the league. We're going to get relegated. Oh, we're fantastic. Oh, we're rubbish. He's brilliant. He's rubbish. And as Bob says, you gotta. It's all about getting minutes in the legs, seeing how things work, bedding in players, and when overall, I mean, we've gone pre-seasons before we've not won a game. We've not been to Guiseley, have we, or York this year, which is maybe the under-21s have, but usually we go there or go
Harrogate,
or go and sit in a pond somewhere when we did under in 2014 under
Chileno.
Hockey Day. Was it Chileno? Yeah, I remember that picture of Dominic Pollion. I think as Paul says, there's players. It's about players putting their hand up. I was interested, and there's a couple. I think Longstaff really has had a good pre-season. At this point, Bornhouse gone because I thought he was really coming into it. You know, he looked decent. He nearly scored, set one up. He was the man. But you know, the guy wants to play football elsewhere. Fair enough. Willie, unfortunately, got injured last week, but I thought when he came on against them lots, he was decent. You say Calvert-Lewin, we're a bit worried, didn't see him or be all first few games, we thought, but he's come back in and straight away gets a goal. Every time I see Trafford go for a challenge, I'm head in hands thinking, no, don't hurt him. He's worth 40 million. He played, he did get caught out one ball on Saturday, which he rode and same, but then later on in the second half, he got a ball and he just played it through the two attackers. A brilliant ball. And I'm okay. I think he's a great signing. You know, paid 40 million for a keeper, but in the current market, and you look at what Coventry paid for theirs, I think it's a no-brainer, and I'm happy with that. Tarek Murovic is brilliant. He's a big unit with skill, and I've been for all our new viewers in Bosnia. I've been to Bosnia. I've been to Zenica. What a place that! We had a great time there. I don't remember much about it. We had a great time. That was the Ireland playoff 1-1. But we can talk about that. If there's any Bosnian people, new viewers, give us a shout. I'll tell you all about my adventures there. The young lads who come in, young Mills. He looked like a breeze would blow him over. And I tell you what, he was decent. And hopefully we'll see some youngsters come through, because we hadn't got a Young Player of the Year award last year. We hadn't any young players. So happy with the signs. Wilson as well. I can pronounce his name, which is good. He looked good in the first couple of games. Now he's rubbish. Apparently, he's decent. He's decent, and I think the team we saw starting on Saturday is probably the starting 11. We'll see this week, and that was interesting to see. I mean, Osberg weren't great, but we looked sharp and we looked decent, and I'm happy throughout the team, and happy we've got players coming off the bench. Little Brendy, he's scoring goals, so you know he's there. I know he goes in peaks and troughs, but if he's at a peak at the moment, he's probably getting in there. We still have players that have gone. I mean, Stroik and Borno, we've got two upgrades really, and the goalkeepers as well. And I was watching your view today, Ger, and there's a lot of keepers. We got 5 or 6 on the list coming through. But as you say, don't spend 15 million on a keeper. There's lots of second choice keepers around that will get cheap and free, and then not cheap ones, if you know what I mean, decent ones. You can get them for a good fee. So I think that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And I think we need a striker. We need more coming in. But generally happy. It was nice to beat Liverpool just for the crack, just say Liverpool fans and send them the score. I think we equipped ourselves well in Croke Park. You were there. It was a bit of a strange atmosphere, but Man United don't sing along, did it? Yeah, half and half scout. The arse. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and I thought, as you say, penalties don't count. And we had chances. Great to see Alex Cairns get a run. Really delighted for him.
He's had the time of his life over the summer.
And do you know what? For
He
for
deserves
a
it.
local lad who came through the club, he's got to play in some massive stadiums this summer. Be the first choice
Done
keeper
all
for the
right.
pre-season. There's no harm in it, and do you know what? He's going to be the third choice keeper this season. He knows he is, and
Yeah,
fair play to him. I thought he was very good
he had his
against Sunderland. Very good against
Mm.
Sunderland.
he had his moment, and long throws are going to be a thing, we know, and well executed a couple of times. I like the way
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin went up to Borna. You could see him talking to him. Next minute, ball comes across, flick on, and it's a goal. And you know that there's and Calvert-Lewin is. I know this leadership group is very important. I think he's such an influence in that team. You see him all the time talking to players now. Just keep him fit. That's the whole thing. Keep fit, start well, and yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. I think the next couple of weeks will be. I think we'll see more coming in. We need to bulk up the squad a bit. A couple of decent signings, and we're away. And when I look around at everybody else, what they're doing, I'm thinking, yeah, we're doing okay. Yeah, don't panic. And Leeds fans generally, I think Leeds fans are happy. Although when we go more than 3 days without a signing, we all checking, anything coming through, and that's it. So yeah, I've had a good summer. Didn't fancy. Well, I was well equipped to stay up and watch the late games anyway. I'd been doing that during the World Cup, so it wasn't too bad. And the other games, I thought was a 2:00 kickoff on Saturday. Apparently, it was 3:00, and so it was early for that one. And yeah, I'll be down at Forest Saturday and Tuesday. Yeah, so it'll be good crack. So there we go. I'm happy.
I'll be at the ground this weekend doing the flyovers and stuff and walk through. I'll have a look at the thing for you. I was trying to sweet talk one because they were working while I was there, so I was trying to say to the guys, "Look, I've got some high vis in the back of my car. Just I'll go put it on. Just let me come in.
Let me come in. Yeah.
Just let me come in for a bit. It'll be fine."
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of work going on. There was a lot of tarmac being put down, all of that kind of stuff. So they are definitely getting ready for it. I think it'll look nice what they've done overall. Yeah. So it's on 2 floors definitely. So
yeah, so far the communication has been good. I like the South Stand asking the West Stand to sing the other day. Give us a song. That was good. Very clever. Very funny stuff. Yeah. Although I don't want to listen to commentaries. American commentators anymore talking about rosters and defense, and yeah, they were okay, I suppose, but yeah, it was
I quite it was on Premier Sports over here at the US tour, and we had a commentator whose name I don't know, but I think Molina was the goalkeeper. He was a US goalkeeper once upon a time. He was the co-commentator. I actually quite enjoyed them. I thought they spoke well. They knew what they were talking about. They clearly had a bit of an insight into what was going on with Leeds during the preseason, because they were talking about how much Alfie Creswell and Callum Mills had been impressed during the preseason campaign and training. So they were obviously tapped into it, which at least they did their homework, which was great. But yeah, I didn't mind it at all. But it
was a small point of it. Yeah, but I have watched commentaries in Korean before, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah. Whatever's available on the day.
Whatever's available. Pictures. It's all about pictures.
Yeah, so we let's get into it then. Let's talk about where we think Leeds United are gonna sit coming into the season. So this time last year, we're all sitting back here talking about we'll take 17th right now. Bite your hand off. Then the season started and we weren't happy with 17th, so we wanted to get 15th, and we got up to 14th. Really good season last year. FA Cup semi-final. Wouldn't be against the cup run again this year. Maybe even pick up a cup. You know, why not? Why can't we? But looking at what's come in, and Gerry's right to point out as well, when you look around the league, there's not been a huge amount of activity from a lot of, Sunderland only really started moving this week in terms of transfers, and they brought in 2 since the weekend.
That guy failed his medical, didn't he?
Really?
Did he?
Yeah. So he's gone back. So he's failed his medical.
Oh, dear.
So that deal's off.
Okay, so they brought in 1 in this weekend, and they brought a 36-year-old fullback on a free transfer. So it's been a weird window, and they did say this would happen. They did say that the World Cup was going to disrupt things a little bit, but in true Leeds United fashion, we're still waiting on number 10 to walk in the door, and our number 10 is walking out the door. So we've got a free number 10 jersey that we just need to slap on the back of somebody who can come in, and it's not going to be Edward Spurgeon, and it's not going to be Pavel Schultz, and it's not going to be Igor Pajot or Rafael Leao. They're all going elsewhere. Half of them are going to Saudi Arabia. One of them already did.
Never liked them anyway. Yeah.
No.
So it's going to be somebody else. Paul, where do you see Leeds United wrapping up at the end of the season? Like, what's a good season for you this year for Leeds? And again, this is just based on what we know right now. The season will change all of this.
Anywhere between 14th and 10th.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. If I'm thinking in terms of logical progression, and I'm thinking of the players that are coming in for us at the moment, and we talked about it a lot, about the ceiling being raised for us and the floor being brought up at the same time as well. So if the ceiling's being raised, we need to bring the floor up, and if we can do that, then we should progress. So I think anywhere between 14th and 10th is going to represent a very, very good season. If we're improving year on year, and like you say, with a good cup run, maybe go and win a cup, who knows, then it could be very, very good news.
Gerry, what about you? What's a good looking season for Leeds this year?
You know, I would take the same again without the jeopardy that we're close to the last place. But Paul's right. We need to be progressing. But if there's 3 teams cut adrift and whether we're 14, 13, 12th, whatever, I think I'll be fine with that in a cup run. But I think we're capable of going higher than that. Without getting carried away, I think there's a small chance we could get on the coattails of Europe. Do we want to? I don't know. But you know, if we finish 10th, yeah, great. And progression and play as well as we did from November last year, definitely I'd be happy with that. And it'd be nice to a cup run. The League Cup's going to be tricky to start with, but yeah, I don't care. Wembley beckons. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I'd happily take that. So play in Cardiff though. After watching Cardiff at the weekend, that's the best place.
I was literally just going to say that. Jeff Stelling was talking about this the other day as well on TalkSport, and Jeff basically clearly pointed out. So games don't have to be played at Wembley if there's a gig happening. So why are the semi-finals being played at Wembley? Let's take them back out of Wembley and put them where they used to go as well before. So
you can roll out of a pub in Cardiff and just straight into the ground without taking many steps. Great stadium. Or
what, 18,000 away from full capacity in the Community Shield. I only found out today why they're not allowed to call it the Charity Shield anymore, because they actually don't reach the threshold to be classified as a charity game. So you have to call it the Community Shield. And Paul, we've still got a bit of work to do. We've got a new goalkeeper, which we're all very, very happy with. A lot of money, but very good. And we've been talking all summer about it being very similar to Nigel Martin when he signed for Leeds back in the day as well. 2 new centre backs, probably still a bit light in the fullback areas. I think at the start of the summer, I said, I've just got a feeling Leeds will maybe move Sean Longstaff on. Not that there was anything wrong with him, but just if they're going to bring somebody else in. He's had a very good preseason, so I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think Willie Gnonto goes anywhere now either, because I think he's had a fantastic preseason. He's looked really, really good. I think Farke is maybe starting to trust him a little bit more. But there is still a bit of work to get done, and it is in that one area of the park that we've been talking about for so long, and that's the attacking third. Yes, Harry Wilson's great coming in, but if you get an injury to Wilson or an injury to Okafor, you're back to where you were last season with maybe Gnonto and Aronson as your 2 backup options. So probably still somebody else needed there. Daniel Farke is 4 summers waiting on a number 10. So it'll be nice to give him what he wants this summer. And then you've also got that lingering niggle in the back of your head about, but if Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Lucas Metcher get a couple of niggles this year, we could be a little bit short of goals up top. So there's still a little bit of work to get done. 2 questions for both of you. I'll start with you, Paul. What's needed? Do we get it?
What's needed? Left back cover, number 10, number 9. I think we get the number 9, and I think we get the left back cover.
So you don't think we get the 10 again?
No.
By the way, I'm bringing back inside forward as a term because those 2 number 10s are inside forwards. So let's just get back to inside forwards. So, Gerry, what about you? What's needed?
Just to caveat that. Sorry. Just to caveat that. There's something in my water that is telling me we've got another big signing to make before the end of the window. I don't know what it is, but there's just something in my water that's saying there's going to be another 25 to 40 million pound player that's just going to appear out of nowhere.
We have a 30% buffer with SCR. Now, if you go into that 30%, whatever you spend into that 30% is taken off you next season and the year after. And the only way you get that back is by going and being compliant for a season. I have a funny feeling Leeds are going to go right into that 30% this summer, and I'm just going to spend it now while they can. And then if they get to Europe next year, so be it. At least they've got the squad that they need to build. Gerry, what about you? What's needed?
We'll start, we get? I'd get Man City's lawyer for a start, but that aside, allegedly. But that aside, as Paul says, we need a striker, and we need backup for that. Left back, we're talking about Max Aarons, which is interesting, but as a backup, good. I tell you what, though, never mind that side of Glasgow. Look at the other side, Alistair Johnson, Everton. We're trying to get him, and wouldn't. I think that would, and I've not seen any links around, but I think he would be a great signing, Canadian international left back, straight in. I think need to be looking at some of that. I'd like to see a surprise for that. Number 10, who knows? All those players you mentioned have come and gone, whether they're ever there. Hard to find. But I don't know if we'll get that. But I think for once we might go down to the last day and be involved in the last day, because there's all of a sudden this week now everything seems there's a lot of stuff coming through. Rodri's just signed for Barcelona. There's a lot of stuff going on with some teams and a lot of movement, and it only takes a domino effect for someone to fall, and someone could just pop up and we grab. But we do need cover in those areas. Goodmanson, he's picked up a few niggles. So I mean, James Justin, brilliant. He's been brilliant, and him and Bogo. If they're not getting a mention with the England squad, I don't know why. Because I think they deserve it. I thought Justin should have been in the World Cup squad. But that aside, I don't necessarily want him to get hurt either. Well, we got that our winger. I thought we'd signed a new player called Joe Salah today when I saw that. For a second, I started, who's Joe Salah? Anyway, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? So we've got covered in a lot of positions, but those are our main areas. Goalkeeper, of course, which we said, and there's obviously work going on there. I'd be interested to see. Is Scott Carson still around? Someone of that ilk. Not saying Scott Carson, but
people are saying Steele is an option to bring in, and he'd be a good backup as well. Sam Johnson would be another one to be a good.
Sam Johnson,
apparently got this.
Sam Johnson has never really got. Yeah, he's one of those players that's there, and he probably needs to sign someone like. I mean, Darlow came in and he was used to the Premier League. It took him a while to adapt, but you want someone who's played there before, not necessarily spend a lot of money on someone who's a bit inexperienced. You want someone to be able to slot in there. And so that's definitely going to happen, I think. So I think there's 3 or 4 more signings to come yet. And get them done quick. I don't want to hang on for the end. But on the last day, I want to be involved. And I don't want any planes on tarmac. I
was just going to say, I don't want any planes on tarmac or anyone waiting to get to a training ground. I'd like them all to be at least deal agreed and just waiting the medical to happen. That's where I'd like to be on the day.
At least in the Leeds train station or just on the last services on the M1, somewhere around there.
Well, the thing is now, when you look at it, just talking about transfers, when you look at the caliber of players that we've signed so far this summer, that sends out a big message to any potential targets that we're looking at bringing in. And again, this is that whole raising the ceiling and raising the level of the squad overall. And because we're doing that, it makes it easier to get stretch targets in if you want to get stretch targets.
Yeah, and we've got a couple of them at the back as well. By the way, Sebastian Bornau has completed his move to Hamburg SV. He's just posted on his Instagram account, Dear Leeds Family. It has been a short chapter, but one that I'll never forget. The MOT family is something else. This club is truly special. Thanks for making me feel at home from day one. I loved every minute wearing that badge, especially those nights at Ellen Road. All the best, Leeds. So he's not coming back. That option must be actually guaranteed to be going through. Look, Gerry, I want a full report on his replacement's wingspan when you see him live in action next week when the Swiss man does manage to get out there. Look, I think we all know what needs to be done. The only concern I have, and it's a minor concern, because when you get to the last week or two of the window, things start to move far more rapidly. At the moment, you've got players doing 2-day medicals. When it gets to the last week or so, they'll be done in a couple of hours. So I'm not overly worried about that. But at the moment, Leeds seem to be going, deal agreed, 5 to 9 days, announce the player as being a Leeds United player. So looking at the maths on that, they want to be signing 3 or 4 players in the next 2 or 3 days to just fit inside that window. But there is a bit of work to do. And ideally, we can get, look, it's not going to be easy. You're looking for someone who's going to make a difference in the final third. And if it was easy to get one of them, Arsenal would have signed the number 9 years ago. They still haven't got a proper number 9. So they're few and far between. So you got to bring in the right character, whether it's a young person or an old person. They've got to get it right. They did say they were going to lower the age bracket this year. They've done that for the most part. Alvede obviously raises it a little bit, but that's, look, again, it's a rotational option. And for everyone asking on that one, he is quite comfortable playing on the left side of a centre back. He's quite comfortable playing in the centre of the centre back 3 as well. And also, Jacobi all used to play left centre back for Udinese as well. So we've got rotational options there. So we might not need to bring in a left sided centre back, but James Justin there as cover as well. So you never know. It means that they can maybe take some of the budget and push it a bit further in the final third and get that number 9 and get a number 10 or another inside forward if that's what they are looking to bring in. So yeah, I'm the same as you, but I think anything between 14th and 10th for Leeds this summer would be, or this season would be a really, really good finish. I can see 10th. I wouldn't be against 8th, getting really close to Europe, but just not making it because SCR next season down to 70%. I would be okay with that. I think we've done really well in pre-season as well. And I think we've done really well with our signings. So all in all, it's very, very positive right now. I also like the fact that we've played an extra couple of games in pre-season because I keep saying if Farke's teams tend to start seasons slow, they finish them very strongly, but they do start slow. And I think the extra 2 or 3 games they managed to squeeze in this year will make a difference to how we start the season. Because I think, to Gerry's point, they look really sharp, really, really sharp right now. And I think we haven't always looked like that coming into the start of a campaign. So that's kind of lead stuff out of the way. Wish Sebastian Bornell, by the way, nothing but success at Hamburg. He was an absolute
Decent.
joy.
He
To
never
have
let
him.
us down,
He was
did he?
excellent. Never let us down.
down.
No, never put a foot wrong. He was a very good backup. And wish him nothing but success. So we might as well talk about, we've got a couple of minutes left. We'll talk about the rest of the Premier League. So I want to get some predictions. And again, these predictions are as good as the bit of paper I'm writing them on right now that I will lose in the next 6 to 10 hours and we'll forget that they ever happened. So who wins the league, Gerry?
I hate to say it, but what you've seen so far, a lot of the other teams are in change. Man City were poor this week. They've lost Guardiola, they've lost Rodri. Liverpool new manager coming in. So I can't see past Arsenal. They look sharp. They've made some decent signings, and I don't like to think about it, but yeah, probably them. I'm feeling, I don't know, Man United, who knows what they'll do. Chelsea, just a basket case. That I don't know who they've signed, how many they've signed. But I don't see past Arsenal. And it'll probably, the top 5 or 6 will be roughly the same. Then maybe, according to Talk Sport, we're finishing 6th, aren't we? So,
you say that? Wow.
I think Adrian Durham said that. Yeah, Adrian Durham said. Somebody said, "Oh, look, he's talking rubbish." What's he said? We're getting relegated 6th. But who knows? But maybe there'll be a shock team in there. But yeah, I think Arsenal. Are we still talking about relegation, or will we go on to that side?
We'll stay with you then. Yeah. Who goes down? Who's your 3?
Well, you look at the bottom, the 3 that come up, and they're spending a lot of money, but spending money to get to a point. I think Hull will go. Ipswich have spent a lot. The last time they spent on Championship players, this time. So will there be a Sunderland? Who knows? Coventry spending again. They're spending a lot of money. So they might have a chance, but they've spent to get to maybe that level, and we're above that. The teams there. You look at teams that are in turmoil again. I think Fulham have lost Harry Wilson. They've lost Mexican guy Raul Jimenez, the manager, and I think they're due a bad run. Palace in Europe. I don't think they've spent big. They've got Dwight McNeil in there for the Tottenham player. I can't remember the mind.
Brennan Johnson.
Him. That's the man.
That's a downgrade.
Yeah, and people say, Everton will finish mid-table. I'm not seeing Everton sign brilliantly yet. So I think there'll be someone. I think Fulham are the team I think could be dragged into it. And one of the other ones will survive. I think Sunderland as well. Europe. Probably punched above their weight last year, as you're saying. They're not signed loads. Second season-itis, we've seen it before. And Newcastle, although they've made some signings, they've lost some established players. And, that'll be an interest. New manager as well, untried. He looks younger than some of the players. So I would say Hull, say hopefully Coventry. And I don't like Coventry in that. And Fulham. And I think Ipswich or Cov might survive, but I think Fulham and Hull are the 2 that'll go down, and one from the other 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I need to correct you on your pronunciation of Coventry. You keep saying Coventry. It's Frank Lampard's Coventry.
Sorry. Until he gets a better offer.
Until he gets a better offer, yeah. Or he gets 14 players from Chelsea in the next.
Did you see that he actually jokes in that Mourinho movie about Mourinho went and spied on Bolton?
And he said it was a genius decision, the hypocrite.
You big grass he was anyway.
Absolute
big baby. I like Cov. I always like Cov. Soft spot for them. But
just not Frankie.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right, last question for you, Jay, before I ask Paul for his. Who's the surprise package of this season going to be? And that can be someone in the bottom or someone at the top.
Yeah, surprise package. Is anybody going to be a surprise package? It'd be us. I don't know. I don't think Brighton would be surprised. I think Ipswich could do something and stay up, but yeah, who else is in there? I'm trying to think of anybody who might surprise us. There might be unnecessary surprise, like Man United might do well, or Liverpool. Our goal, him, the Spanish fellow
Areola.
from Bournemouth, him as well. He might go in Liverpool. Liverpool haven't made lots of signs. They're moaning about Gakpo and everything. We could get him, but maybe he goes in and does a good job. Yeah, and I'd be happy if anybody pipped Arsenal to the title. I really would, but I can't see it. But if anybody does, he might just, because I think he's a great manager. I really do, and he could get him playing. Pre-season, I'm not really following them that much, and when they played us, with lots of different players.
Yes.
Aston Villa are going to sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That's just come up there from, is he West Ham, isn't he?
26 million.
Yeah.
There you go.
That 190 million that they needed to find has suddenly become quite simple for them, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Hasn't it? Yeah.
Somebody signed Troy Parrott as well. Could we sign Troy Parrott? That'd be nice. Has he gone to Betis? Oh, good. Oh, he'll be all right then.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's not going to West Ham.
West Ham apparently also having a look at Junior Firpo. They're trying to bring back the Leeds United side. They got promoted a couple of years ago at this rate.
Of course, they got Solomon and everything now. So,
yeah, he's available. He's available to go. No, we're not talking about him. He did score, and they left Piru in him. So, yeah, that'll be exciting for them. Right, Paul. Who wins it?
I can't see past Arsenal. I think Arsenal, I think they're too well set up for it, as annoying as it's going to be, because they've already started with the dark arts and pulling and screeching people around. So
Arteta took 15.5 minutes before I automatically went it. Just send them off. Just send them off. That's all I'm sick of looking at. He has he just keeps running at the fourth official every 5 seconds. Okay, I'm not getting into it again. I'm sorry. Get off the soapbox.
So I can't see past Arsenal because there's too much. I can't see City challenging because it's a transitional season for them. They've just lost Rodri. That's a lot of weight to put on Elliot Anderson's shoulders. I know he comes with the price tag, but I just can't see past Arsenal for this one. And then in terms of going down, I think Hull are going to be in trouble. They've bought 11 players, but getting those 11 players to gel isn't going to be the easiest thing in the world to do. I think Ipswich could be the surprise package this season in terms of staying up and having a decent season. The other two teams that I could think of that might go down as well, I think Newcastle could be in a lot of trouble this season.
Do you think PIF are slowly backing away from Newcastle? Because I do.
I think they are. They're not. You would have thought that they would have funded it as best as they can. They've actually, what they've done is they're selling Tonali, selling Bruno. That's the amount of money that they made off of those two things. But that's huge. That's ripped the heart out. And I know Trippier was leaving anyways, but Trippier's gone as well. That makes a massive difference. Lewis Hall might be leaving, depending on who's looking at that as well. So there's a lot of change and turmoil there. Yeah. Gordon going to Barcelona, who looked sharp, by the way.
Something's not right there because the players coming in, and there are two players pulled out of their move in the last second. Højbjerg and the guy that signed for Aston Villa, the midfielder, Swiss guy, both pulled out after done deals were announced. So it doesn't feel like they're stable. I still think they've enough, but
I think they could be in trouble. I think if you want who's going to really overperform next season, keep your eye on Tottenham. I think Tottenham might do
I think so
next season. I think
not from a low place, but yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
So who's your three to go down again, Paul?
So I'm going to say Hull. I'm going to say Coventry and possibly Fulham.
So I have. If Arsenal to win it, which pains me, not because I don't like Arsenal. I think Arsenal are a cracking club. I just can't. Arteta, I just can't.
Another fella.
I think Hull and Ipswich go down, and I think I have Palace or Fulham to be the third side to drop into that one of those two. I would be very worried if I was a Palace fan looking at what they're bringing in at the moment and what they're what's gone out. Strand Larson gets the second season fighting in the bottom of the league. I think the season's going to be for him. Yeah.
Imagine spend 50 million on him. Yeah.
I still think he's a decent striker. He'll do enough for them, but I would be worried enough. And Fulham, it's a gamble. Fulham for me could be Brentford of last season or get relegated. For me, it's one of those two, because if Arbeloa settles in and it works out quite well, if the young lads they brought in from Real Madrid, Garcia, and hit the ground running and adapt to the Premier League, they could be fine. They could even push this up towards 9th or 10th. If they don't, I think they're in big trouble. So for me, it's one extreme or the other one. And I think I have combination of Liverpool and Crystal Palace to be the surprise package because I like Andoni Iraola's style of football. He's baby Bielsa. So for me, there's an awful lot about how he plays. He's got a defensive strategy, which is slightly different to Bielsa. But I think he'll get them moving after a couple of weeks. I think they'll be up there come the end of the season. I have them finishing second. And I think Crystal Palace is your surprise package for me because I think they could have a big wobble this year. I think Europe's not going to help them. But I could be wrong. Could be completely wrong, but we'll wait and see. Right, before we wrap up, Paul, first manager to get sacked. Who and why is it Enzo Maresca?
Exactly what you just said. It's Maresca. It'll be Maresca. It's after the Lord Mayor show. You cannot replace Guardiola. You just can't. You're fighting a losing battle with that. And he has, from what we've seen from when he's been at other clubs, oh my God, does he rub players up the wrong way? So it's going to be interesting to see how that progresses moving forwards.
Yeah. Jerry, what about you?
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, he's the one after the one after. You need to be the one after the one after the one after. And even Man United are the one after one. And it's not working. I'm following someone like Pep. Yeah, I don't think he wasn't that great. When he was at Leicester, they didn't really like him. Chelsea, why did he get that job? Why does he get all these jobs? So I think with the players he's losing, the turmoil there, I don't think he's the one to do it. And I suppose as the teams we talk about, Palace or Fulham or anything like that, if they don't get off to a good start, then they could be gone. And it's only hoping that Frank Lampard gets the push for being actually found out. Yeah, well, what a front. Yeah, but
crossed.
And less hair. Yeah, that patch is going to be bigger.
He needs to sort
shave it off, Frank.
Just
get rid of it or shave it. Pick one.
Just be like the guy who was in front of me at the West Ham game last game of the season who just sprayed black stuff on his head. Yeah. Just sprayed. Looked very authentic. Not really. Yeah, maybe we should try.
I find it distracting, if I'm being honest. As a bald man, I find that quite distracting watching football. I remember when Joe Cole was slowly losing his Bishop's patch at the back of his head. And every time I watched him playing football, I couldn't stop watching his ball patch running around the pitch. I actually wasn't looking at the football anymore. So just shave it, lads. If it's gone,
you look at it and go, is that what I think it is? Is that?
Do you think that looks all right? Like, are you looking at yourself in the morning going, yeah?
Are you aware that we can see you? Just have you looked in a mirror before you left the house today?
Just when you're bald, when you're bald becomes thick. It's well known fact.
Just little bits moving around a bit. I definitely was never like that.
Glasses.
Don't talk about that. Yeah. Right. Okay. So we think Maresca is going to go down. We think it's going to be Hull, Ipswich, Coventry, and maybe one or two others in around the bottom. And Leeds probably a nice, relaxing mid-table. I take 2 years of mid-table mediocrity and a nice, calming season while Leeds build this squad. Very happy what Leeds are doing at the moment. New stadium as well on its way. New looking team as well on its way. Everything seems very calm. Daniel Farke will probably sign his contract once the season kicks off. I don't have any doubts about that. I think once the window's wrapped up, they'll get stuck into that. Very little concerns there. And I'm looking forward to a really good season of football. So we've got a lot of stuff coming out this week. So we've got the Other View, which is our opposition view, which will be out on audio only. So if you want to get that, it'll be out Thursday evening. You can check that out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your audio podcast feeds. And we'll also have at some point, we'll have a live stream if Nicola Vetti ever signs for Leeds United. And we'll cover that off when it happens. It could be tonight, could be tomorrow. We're recording this at the moment on Tuesday night. If he ends up signing on Tuesday night, this podcast is going out Wednesday. So we've got a full packed week, and we will have a watch along on Saturday on YouTube because Big Up is still under construction at the moment. So like the West Stand, still a bit of work to do before we're allowed back in the door. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there. You can check Paul out at the Leeds Therapy, Gerry out at Talking Leeds. The links for that are down below. Also, there are X handles out there as well. You can check all that out if you want it. And if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe and like the video, and you can follow us and give us a channel rating over on the audios. Guys, thanks very much for joining me. Good to be back. We'll talk to you soon.